Wrapping bees today. This is the yard that's the northernmost yard on my north-southerly route on the Connecticut River Valley here in Vermont. And we're just going through getting them wrapped. Ready for the snow. Pretty easy preparations that are taken, or not too much preparation is taken. Or we have 1.5 inch styrofoam insulation, wintering them in 2 deeps, 1/2 inch screen crimped in the entrance as a mouse guard, upper entrance in the inner covers, and a nice tight little cluster of bees with lots of honey. That's crucial. And we'll duct tape the cover here. So hang on 1 second. Just enough duct tape to cover the hole so the bees don't chew on the insulation through the winter. That goes right on top. And then we will wrap the rest here. One thing to note with the wrapping that I learned, kind of like, it was a nice Michael Palmer told me this, or taught me this. When you put your wraps on, and these are just tar paper wraps, you got your upper entrance exposed here. The idea is to push your wraps so if you have a telescoping outer cover, that your cover will envelop the top portion of your wrap, so it keeps the water from coming down into this. And I didn't do a good job at demonstrating, but you really only need 6 staples. You need 4 down the back seam and then 2 on the front. I just let this all drape around. The heat of the sun will just kind of cause everything to hold in, but obviously the seam on this is an older wrap, so the seam is not pretty, but I had to do a little more than 4. There's probably 6 here, 2, 4, or whatever. So that's the idea. That's the concept for wrapping these, that I found nice with these tar paper wraps, is to get the seams, that top seam, up under the cover. And then everybody's tucked in here, nice all around, nice and tight. The next part to this is actually just taking some of this twine, baling twine really. It's got a loop on one end, and we will wrap it through the loop about 1/3 of the way down, or a little above, yeah, 1/3 of the way down on the top. Cinch it tight, pull it up over the lid. tied down. So the wind isn't going to blow that off. Heck, the thing can even be toppled over if something was to, you know, tip it over or something. For the most part, that's secure. Everything's propolized, but there it is, wrapped up, ready to go for winter. 1 yard, packed away. So, again, honey production colonies, I don't really do a lot besides what you're seeing here for winterization. The nukes, I think in previous videos I've demonstrated that. Maybe I'll do it again here this fall on how I pack those away. But we're just kind of going down, working away south, yard to yard, getting them all wrapped up here. So Corey Stevens was up here last weekend at the NHBA, New Hampshire Beekeepers Association fall meeting, and they brought him out to show him around a couple of the bee yards. And opening up this one hive I want to show you, kind of got a discussion or an idea that I proposed to him, and actually the initial idea came from Kirk Webster. He and I got talking one winter just about the colors of the bees and how, you know, sometimes it appears that they, at least with our bees, my bees in particular, that they darken up in the winter months and then they kind of lighten up in a color sense as the season progresses into the growing season, you know, and once we get into April and the season starts to open up, the colors of the workers change. But here's a colony I had flagged for having a little bit more of kind of a multicolor, you know, more yellow in a sense into the population. And here we are, it's late October, things are cooling down, and here's the color of the bees now, and they're pretty dark. Actually, they're, for the most part, there's not a lot of yellow in any of their abdomens. There's a couple of them in there, but cluster wise it's a nice little cluster of bees in a double deep. But anyways, lots of dark bees, not much yellow. And I'm going to look at this again for next year, see if they lighten up again and maybe take some pictures. But just some idea, it'd be an interesting research project to see if there's any, if I'm just seeing things or if there's any correlation with winter bees, you know, why they'd be a little bit darker and why they'd lighten up in the summer months. I don't know. Food for thought. Here we are, another yard, chugging along here. I want to show you guys some of the populations. Looking pretty good. Some of the yards, actually most of the yards have been looking pretty good. These guys have got, this yard in particular has got some nice populations, and just to showcase to everybody what they're looking like. They're all not all like this, at least not all the yards, but in the top box, this early in the year, it's kind of like the tip of the iceberg for clusters, and they are full of honey. These colonies are as heavy, I mean, the heaviest I've seen in years without feeding them. They're already probably over 230 pounds for double deeps. Anyways, nice little colonies, nice little populations. So Ray just popped the outer cover off. We got another, just to, again, showing you guys what the bees are looking like here heading into winter. Will they look like this heading into spring when we unpack them? That's the big mystery.
You want to see underneath?
Yeah. Behind door number 1. Yeah, nice clusters. Whoa. Nice populations heading into winter. Beautiful. It doesn't hurt that these guys had a tremendous and a phenomenal fall honey flow, so nutritionally they were well provisioned.